Happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Gattoni with Rochelle Legrand on this Thursday. How are you?
I'm doing good. I think I'm still calming down from yesterday's Turn the Tassel celebration.
Yes, lots of fun stuff.
It was quite a celebration. I don't know if you noticed, we had guest after guest after guest after guest after guest after guest, literally. But it was quite a show. And again, we're going to continue celebrating our grads all throughout the month, all summer long. So we hope you guys found some tips that are hopefully helpful for your graduation parties. And again, a big congratulations to the class of 2024.
Congratulations, and I'm sure all of the parents and even all of the grads are getting ready for those grad parties, which can just book up your entire summer. It's busy, but Studio 10 yesterday had you all covered, so make sure to go check that out on social media. Otherwise,
we got to keep things rolling like we do every day. So today we're literally rolling and running because we've got two races that we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Hopefully you're trained. Okay.
Yes, hopefully. And one of them they're both for a really great cause. I keep dropping this pen. One is Relay for Life. We have two people from the American Cancer Society who are going to join us. And this is the biggest fundraiser that they have each and every single year.
Yeah.
So they're going to talk about what the money that's fundraised for. It is free for everyone to join, but they do host a lot of fundraisers throughout the year. And they're going to talk to us about where that money goes and why this cause is always just so personal for them and why people should get involved. And I know it's great because it brings out a big community for people, and it just shows them that, hey, you're not alone while you're going through this. And that's for people who are diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
It's for the friends, it's for the families, the supporters, the fighters of it. It's for everyone. So we're going to talk about that today. Really excited for that conversation.
Yeah, and when you have the conversations with the people at this relay, they have quite the story to share too. And it's very emotional, and you really get to hear the reason behind why they're running in this race or walking or rolling, participating in it overall. Just such a great cause to support.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to give you those details as to how you all can join us as well. There's one for the greater Lansing area, plus there's one in Jackson too. So we'll make sure we hit on both of those.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Plus, we've got another race happening this weekend through Playmakers Foundation, the Michigan Mile. And this is kind of like the first race that kind of kicks off the summer.
Okay.
It's at Jackson Field. It's a big family-friendly event. And it's just a great way to show kids that, hey, even though you're not in school, summertime is the time to get active, not just sit at home and kind of be on your PlayStation and those games and whatnot. You can do that. You can fit time in for that. But it's a great way to get families involved and get active and have those parents kind of, you learn by what you see, not by what you hear.
Yes. So. No, you need to take action, be that role model. And yeah, for a lot of those children who are home for the summer, you do look up to your parents and your guardians and the people around you. So it's important that you show a good example of staying active, not just rotting on the couch all day.
Yeah. Yes. And we are introducing a new store to the area. We're going to Weberville.
Okay.
Actually, we're going all over the place today.
All over.
I told you we're running all day. But Weberville, it's a place called Summit Shop. It's a place for crafters, for quilters, and there's a lot of really great gifts in there as well. So we're going to learn a little bit more about the story behind the storefront. It's in this beautiful church in Weberville, and it's so beautiful, Taylor. There's like stained glasses all inside
the stained glass windows.
Yeah, really exciting. And that's not all. Of course,
what else?
Groovy Donuts. We're going to talk to them today because tomorrow is actually National Donut Day. So we're going to talk about some of the things that they're cooking up to celebrate as well.
You got to get the donuts. And Groovy Donuts, they just have all these fun designs, and it always looks so good. It is very groovy. So make sure to go check that out for National Donut Day tomorrow. Ooh, that sounds yummy.
I know. Hopefully we can have a few in here tomorrow as well.
Yeah, save me a donut.
I was going to tell you to save me one. You guys always have the donuts. I mean, we'll have some, but just in case.
Well, next week when we have our payday, we'll get the donuts.
I like that idea. I like it. But of course, we'll have all this information plus so much more. Like I said, this is only scratching the surface of what we're talking about today on Studio 10. You can find everything else on WILX, Studio 10 on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and everywhere else.
Many places.
So many places. But it's all there, and we hope to see you guys at 3 o'clock.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rochelle. And you are just running and running all over the place. So keep it going. You got this.
Yeah,
we're almost to Friday. But yes, WILX Studio 10 is where you can go for Studio 10 social media pages. Stay up to date with them. When they have any questions that you can answer from their Facebook pages, you can always comment, and then they'll say the answers on Studio 10 when they have their little answer time. But I'm going to show you where you can find more on Studio 10. Of course, we were talking about, well, let's see if this mouse will work for us. There we go. I'll refresh it. We'll see if they have any of their graduation stuff up on there. Ooh, a party favor. You can post anywhere with Sublime. You go to videos, and then you can also, look at that, all of the grad videos that they have. And Nicole even did a Cole's Crafts, so you can have some cheap, fun ways to decorate for the grad party, and then here are your playlists as well. But we're going to take a quick live look outside. We'll switch this to our Spartan Stadium Falcon cam. And you can see it's kind of windy out there, those birds.
You know what's crazy about this is that we showed this last week, and they had a lot more white, and now they have a lot more of their actual feathers, so they just grow so fast.
They do grow very fast, and it's really funny to watch their baby fur feathers just kind of flopping in the wind there. Oh, are they waking up?
They're just looking.
Very cute. They probably just had lunch. We just had lunch.
Mm-hmm.
We did. But as you head outside, it's probably feeling cooler than what the rest of the week has been like.
Yeah, you know, and the big difference too is the lack of humidity. So it just feels nicer outside. You don't have that high humidity. Honestly, I think the breeze is kind of just making it feel even nicer outside, in my opinion, because it just kind of cools you off a little bit. So obviously today's weather a lot different than what we saw yesterday. We can talk about yesterday here real quick because we actually ended up seeing 2 tornadoes yesterday in the state of Michigan. Now this was unexpected. The tornado risk was very low yesterday. But this is why it's important, and this is what I wanted to mention by bringing this up, is that during any thunderstorm, that's why you should not be outside.
No.
That's why you need to be getting inside, because you never know what's going to happen. And sometimes, in the case of yesterday, it was just some very small things that happened that ended up creating 2 tornadoes in the state of Michigan and quite a bit of damage over in Metro Detroit from these tornadoes. So the one was way up in Crawford County. It actually hit a golf course that was just to the east of Grayling. Did some tree damage and things like that. Wasn't very strong. Rated an EF0. So remember, the enhanced Fujita scale goes from 0 to 5. So don't forget that 0. But the second one was in Livonia. Obviously, Livonia, very highly populated.
Yeah, lots of suburbs, lots of people, and that one was fatal.
It was fatal. Unfortunately, a tree fell onto a house.
It was a 2-year-old,
Yeah, very sad situation there. That was rated an EF1 by the National Weather Service in Detroit. Peak winds of 95 miles per hour. So not terribly strong, but obviously that's enough to cause some tree damage and cause some issues. I know that there was also some buildings damage from it yesterday. So that was the official storm surveys have come in from the National Weather Service. So there are the details of both of the tornadoes. Now I went back and counted. I believe there's been 8 tornadoes in Michigan this year.
Oh yeah, no, we've had quite a bit.
So if you go back to, we had the one near Marshall, we had one in Grand Blanc, the 4 from the Portage tornado outbreak day, and now these 2. So I believe that's 8. So
wow.
It's been a busy start to the severe weather season.
And this is only the beginning of severe weather season.
Right, so on average, Michigan sees 15 tornadoes a year. So we're about half that. But I guess that, we're halfway through the year. So
that's true.
So we'll see what ends up happening. But obviously, I just wanted to talk about that yesterday with the 2 confirmed tornadoes in the state of Michigan. Now, here locally, we kind of avoided a lot of that. But what we did see was some very, very heavy rainfall. I know yesterday when I left here to drive home, I drove through one of the storms, and it's some of the heaviest rain that I've driven in a very long time. So I know someone sent me a picture on Facebook too of some flooding in their backyard from yesterday in the Mason area. So that's where radar estimated anyways over the last 48 hours, about 3 inches in the Mason area. So quite a bit of rainfall came down yesterday. That part of Ingham County saw 2 rounds of storms yesterday. So it was quite a bit of rain. But the good news is that we have dried out, and our weather today has been very nice overall. But one thing we're going to keep an eye on for the next couple of days here is that up here, so do you see this big counterclockwise spin?
Yeah, is that making its way our way or no?
So what this is going to do, it's an area of low pressure that's up this way, and it's just going to sit there for a couple of days. So as it does so, what it's going to be doing is 2 things. It's going to bring down some cooler air from Canada, and it's also going to allow for just waves of moisture, waves of energy to come around this low, and every now and then those will try to sneak in here. This happens semi-frequently. You typically wouldn't see it this time of year though, so that's what makes it a little unusual. But what this means for us is that we will have cooler weather, and we will also have some chances at seeing some showers each and every day into the weekend. So not a great chance, no washouts are expected, but there is the opportunity that we could see rain over the next couple of days, but most of the days will end up being dry. including today. So this is a look from our Meridian Company Skycam network from US 127 in Clinton County to East Lansing to Mason and Jackson. Looking fantastic. It is
Oh yeah, it looks great.
a fantastic looking day. Temperatures have been pretty comfortable in the 70s, and I want to show you the hour-by-hour forecast because it'll try to pop up a few of these hit or miss showers later this afternoon and into the evening, and then the same thing for into tonight and into the day on Friday. Again, nothing major, but maybe a sprinkler or two every now and then. And the thing about Friday is that it will be a much cooler day, just not looking like the nicest day overall, with a few spotty showers, temperatures in the 60s at most for daytime highs tomorrow. So it is going to be a cooler end of the week, I do expect, across the region. And our rain chances, again, see how small they are? I only put about a 20% chance for Thursday, Friday. Saturday, we'll have a slightly better chance of seeing some showers, but I still don't think it's an all-day thing. Probably in the afternoon is when that is most likely, and then after that, we will dry out. I left the forecast dry on Sunday. I think that low finally moves away, and then we should be dry as we head into next week as well. So it's very small chances of rain, but they are there, so we'll have to continue to just keep an eye out for a spotty shower or two. Now, the other thing about today, I kind of separated between, okay, let's talk about the rain, now let's talk about the wind. So now we're going to talk about the wind. It has been very windy today.
Gotta watch out for both of them.
Yeah, probably don't need to tell you that it's been windy out. If you've been outside at all, you know it has. The wind gust at the last report there in Lansing, 38 miles per hour. That's pretty strong. So we have been seeing these westerly winds today, and I do expect these winds will continue to be pretty strong throughout the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours. They will relax a little bit when the sun goes down, but even tomorrow I think is going to be a tad breezy. So we'll have some breezy conditions, and we're going to have the cooler temperatures. So that's why Friday just doesn't look like the nicest weather day overall. You can pull that up if you like.
Yeah, Mason Skycam, you were seeing those flags blowing, and
Yeah.
the tree leaves are even, just moving around out there from all of the wind.
So, it's just a windy day, right?
Yes,
but,
it is.
if you have the windows open, it might knock down some of the things in your house.
Oh,
It happens to me all
Watch
the
out.
time. If I have my sliding glass door open, I have some plants right there. They fall over like every time.
oh, and then it's a mess all
It's
over
a
your
mess. You gotta
living
pick up the
room.
dirt and-
It's not a ghost, it's the wind.
Right, so be mindful of that today because the wind is not going to go anywhere throughout the rest of the afternoon into the evening, and I think tomorrow, like I mentioned, is going to be breezy as well. But we will be staying cool for the next several days here, 60s and 70s, 67 tomorrow, that's about 10 degrees below normal. This weekend, 70 or 71 for Saturday,
Cooler
Sunday.
weekend.
Yeah, so it's not going to be the warm weekend, unfortunately, if you want to get the boats out or do any pool activities or anything like that this weekend. Probably not the best to do so, but what we are tracking and what does continue to show up in our computer models is towards the end of the week of next week and into next weekend. It looks like possibly some of the warmest temperatures of the year so far could be on the way with highs getting back up into the middle to upper 80s.
That'll feel great.
For the first time, I will tell you, when I forecasted this morning, for the first time I saw one of our models have 90 degrees for us. Whether or not we get that warm, we'll keep an eye on that. But it does look like it's going to be pretty warm nonetheless, with those temperatures warming up into the 80s by the end of the week, into next weekend. So we'll see where we're at this time next week. It could be feeling much warmer, I should say, and more humid too. So I think there will be a
Okay.
touch of humidity with this. But obviously we're still several days away. Many days away, I should say.
Yeah.
So enjoy the cooler weather. I kind of like the 60s and 70s personally. I don't know, just nice to get outside. You're not too
You're not
hot.
sweating, yeah.
Yeah, so no air conditioner needed.
You just have the windows open, you get that natural breeze, you smell the summer air, yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
nice.
our electric bills will appreciate this too.
Yeah, that's a reminder to pay your electric bill soon if you have yet to do so like me. But yeah, maybe a lower bill because if you've had your windows open, then you're giving the AC a break.
Yeah, which is some good news because I think everyone likes to save money, right?
You and I were just talking about needing to save money, big time. we need a budget.
It's such a struggle.
It is, and the summer is here, and
Yeah.
so many
You
things
get
we want to do.
I want to do this, I want to do that, and your friends are asking you to do all these things. So it's like, how do you save money? I don't know.
Let us know in the chat. We would like to know.
I just can't do it.
We can't do it.
Because you struggle with, well, you only live once, and you want to do all these activities,
Yes.
but then also you're like, I shouldn't.
Can't keep doing this for much longer if I am
Things are
blowing through the
struggling.
money.
Yeah, so. But it's all right. We're all fine. Everything's good. So,
We'll get there.
yeah, we'll get there. And get outside and enjoy the weather.
Yes.
That's free, by the way.
Yes, it is.
It seems like every time you walk out the door, it's like ka-ching. You spend money on something. But
You can enjoy this weather.
Go
Just
for a
lay
walk.
out, yeah, go for a walk, lay out a blanket, read a book that you already have so you're not spending money on a new one. I know Maureen loves books, so she would probably go to a bookstore and pick up a new one, but you can just, have a little picnic.
We should have a Money Matters, maybe on Mid-Michigan Matters, have someone talk about summer budgets.
I know. I'm actually thinking about bringing someone in because, yeah, we need a strong talking on that. We need discipline is what we need.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Colton, for
Yes,
joining.
and make sure you download the News 10 First Alert Weather app too, because we'll post updates in there. Obviously, the weather is a bit quiet today, but it may not be quiet forever. So actually, it will not be quiet forever. So having the app is completely free in the Google Play and App Stores, and we'll have updates in there all summer long and beyond that with the forecast. Obviously, we are a little short-staffed in the weather department. I think we posted on our Facebook page
Yes.
with Justin Bradford and his wife.
I'll have to see if I can pull it up. I'm not sure if I can. We'll see what I can do.
Having their child, which we knew was coming, and it finally happened, so we're really excited for them. But Justin will be back when he gets back later this summer. But yeah, it's just it's an exciting time.
It is an exciting time, and so that's his little sunshine in the forecast. I'm trying to see if I can pull up the picture. Oh, well, that's not it.
It's okay. It's on our Facebook page, WILX Facebook page, if you want to go over there and check that out and see. Jace, right?
Jace Bernard Bradford.
Love that.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but we have you covered. So download the News 10 First Alert Weather app. We kind of go off on tangents sometimes, but
It is
we'll
what
get
it
through.
is. Thank you, Colton. We will see you coming up on Studio 10 at 3 o'clock and 40 minutes, followed by First at 4, and you'll get back to work. But in the meantime, if you want to get more into your First Alert forecast, right up here on the blue bar, if you click on First Alert Weather, you can scroll down, and you'll get a little one sentence from Colton, right? That's just giving you a little gist of what's happening throughout the day. But you can get a more in-depth, detailed description. That's kind of redundant, but more of a description on what you can expect weather-wise as you head outside today and the rest of this week. And then if you scroll down, you have the almanac information showing you all of the records in previous years. And the oldest one that I'm highlighting right here is 31 degrees on June 6th back in 1869. That's how cold it was. And as you can see today, we are 75 degrees. The highest, let's see, 98. It was at Jackson, 1925. But we are 75 degrees today in Lansing, that is. So just make sure if you have the First Alert Weather app that you are changing that to the area that you are in across mid-Michigan. So just showing you what you can see on WILX.com. You get the hourly, 3-day, 10-day, and of course your weekend forecast. You can scroll down here, click to future, and we'll play out the radar. You'll be able to see if there's any rain chances in the forecast. But like Colton was mentioning, if anything, it'll be those spotty rain showers that'll just, be very quick. Other than that, it's going to stay dry the rest of today, and then you can prepare for those rain chances coming in across the weekend. And like Colton was saying, again, it's just going to be spotty, so you don't have to worry about anything washing out your day plans. We're going to head over to the live stream page as well, because if you joined us on News 10 today at 11, or you weren't sure where to find us today on News 10 today at 11, today and tomorrow, we will actually have News 10 today at 11 on all of our streaming platforms. So if you go to our website, WILX.com, click on live stream, you're going to be able to see us pull up right here, and you're actually seeing our live stream that we are currently on for the News 10 Plus digital desk. But instead, when you join for News 10 today at 11 tomorrow, and if you joined today, you would have seen it right here on our page on WILX.com. So I just want to show you where to go for tomorrow. If you did not make it to News 10 today at 11, if you're a little confused by that, this is your heads up that we will be on the live stream tomorrow for News 10 today at 11. But everything else is running as planned, so you can just stay up to date with how you've been doing it. But I am going to share what else we have coming up today during our 90 minutes of news, starting with Mid-Michigan Matters during our first at 4. So coming up today on Mid-Michigan Matters, we are bringing in a local man who recently ran this year's Boston Marathon. Now, he didn't qualify for the race because that is a major marathon that you have to qualify for. However, he was participating for a greater cause. And you're going to see, of course, the marathon runner races to raise funds. And this is for a nonprofit organization that is local to Mid-Michigan and, across the region. So we just want to share more into that. The purpose for this race, I mean, it's the Boston Marathon, which is incredible in itself, but really the lengths or the strides that they're taking it to help out this nonprofit organization. And then coming up, News 10 at 5 today, News 10's Tania Jordan will be live from a D-Day exhibit, remembering 93 Michigan residents who was killed in action on June 6, 1944. That exhibit runs from today until Monday, so if you want to check that out, you have this weekend to do so. And then as Colton was just saying, those higher temps will be here before we know it. You have about a week with the 70s, and then, you know, by next weekend we'll be in the 80s, close to the 90s. So for many, that will mean higher utility bills between air conditioning, fans, pool equipment, and much, much more. But paired with the higher frequency of power outages in the summer, many are concerned about what they're paying for. So coming up on News 10 at 5:30, our Capitol correspondent Zachariah Wheaton will have more on the increased cost of utilities while there are increase of power outages. And then coming up News 10 at 6 today, as part of our ongoing You're Not Alone series, we're featuring a group that is working with Lansing Police Department on sensitivity training. Our very own News 10 David Andrews will have more information coming up News 10 at 6 today, so that is what you can look forward to. I'm going to share what Riley Connell has coming up today. Riley, thank you for joining.
Of course. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. We'll see
Yes.
if your Grandma Cheryl joins again.
That's right. I did tell her yesterday. I said every day at 2 o'clock we do this. So if I know her, then she will continue to tune in at 2 o'clock now that she knows that that's going on. So yeah, it was a great little pop-in from her yesterday. So we'll see if she shows up in the comments over there.
See, yes.
We'll just hang out and see. In the meantime, I guess I can tell you what I'm working on today.
Something like
you know,
that.
Maybe that's the point of me coming up here. I don't know. Sometimes it's just a chit chat.
Sometimes.
I like to chit chat in the middle of the day. Helps with my
Get the words out.
procrastination a little bit. Yeah, we've got a pretty fun story coming up on News 10 at 5 today. A chat with Michigan State University President Kevin Guskowitz, who is kind of reflecting on his first 100 days in office as MSU's new president. So if you didn't know that MSU has a new president, then you're finding out for the first time. But he's been here since March. He made a few visits to campus before them. It's not the first time that we've spoken to him or heard from him, but now we're 100 days into him really taking over that role on campus. And of course, there's a lot of things to touch on with that. He dropped in at a really interesting time. We've just had some protesting on campus. We just had commencement. There's still a lot of healing, a lot of recovery happening after a tragedy in very recent past on MSU's campus. So a lot of that going on. Him kind of talking about making that clean slate, what he's looking forward to, you know, moving ahead in the coming years, you know, with his time spent on campus, and what he's enjoyed about, you know, coming to the East Lansing area and making that move, you know, trying to, you know, settle into a new community. So we've kind of covered a whole range of topics, so you can hear a little bit more about what these, you know, last 100 days have meant to him too. And, you know, it was pretty quickly. Summer came pretty quickly after he came in too. So it's kind of getting ahead to that next full actual school year, you know, coming up this fall. It'll be the first, you know, full semester to tackle as the new president too. So I'm sure there will be some follow-up then. But for now, yeah, he's talking about those first 100 days. So it'll be very interesting.
That will be very, very interesting. Let me pull up a live look to MSU right now so we can see what that's looking like, and also it's looking kind of shadowy over there.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a
Shadowy
little
across
bit.
MSU's campus. I do see that Chris is joining us from East Lansing, so hello Chris, and Angelina, thank you for joining us as well. But yes, Riley's story is sharing more on Kevin Guskowitz and his first 100 days
That's right.
as MSU's president. Anything else you want to share, Riley?
Oh, I don't think so. Just tune in for News 10 at 5, 5:30 and 6. Tune in for First at 4. Tune in for everything that we've got coming up.
Oh, yes, we got a lot more coming up. So something else that I want to mention that you kind of mentioned, Riley, and I'll pull it up here, is our You're Not Alone mental health series. Again, thank you, Riley, for joining us.
Of course.
We will see you coming up in our 90 minutes of news, but like we were mentioning, News 10 at 6, David Andrews has a story on the LGBTQ community and the communication or partnership that they've had with the Lansing Police Department on sensitivity training. So again, we're having more on that coming up today, News 10 at 6. But no matter what you're going through, whether that's oppression, whether that's stress, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, maybe it's substance use or gambling or anything of the sort, maybe it's just you're going through a little bit of a rough time right now, know that there are resources out there for you, and you can find those resources by scanning the QR code on your screen with your cell phone's camera. When you do so, it'll pull up a link that is to our website, WILX.com, and you'll find a few resources per mid-Michigan county. So Shiawassee, Lenawee, Jackson, Ionia, Eaton, Ingham, any other counties that I may be missing across mid-Michigan, you will be able to find those resources on our website, and know that you're not alone. There are mental health care professionals who are ready to talk with you when you are ready to talk with them. And just being able to get out what you need, improve your emotional well-being no matter what that is. So again, that is part of our You're Not Alone mental health series. We do have Erin Bowling joining the News 10 Plus desk.
Hello, hello. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. How are you?
I'm pretty good. You know, I've got a fun story for you guys today.
All right, well, I want to hear.
If you're watching earlier in the week, you might have heard that today I spoke with 3 different former contestants on the Wheel of Fortune. They're all locally based. I spoke with one man. He is a Williamston High School teacher. He won the show in 2007. Another man, he's from Bath Township. He was on the show in 2006. And then there's another woman from Brooklyn, Michigan, who is actually now retired in Florida, but she was on the show in 2002. And so spoke with them today because, you know, tomorrow will be Pat's last day as host on Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, last day, Friday at 7 p.m., Pat Sajak, he's been co-host of Wheel of Fortune for, you know, over 4 decades. I believe he first started as host on the show in 1981, maybe give or take a couple years. I believe that's the year he started. But yeah, so I just spoke with the contestants today about, you know, what the experience was like, you know, getting to spin the wheel alongside Pat.
That would be super fun to talk about.
Yeah.
So 3 contestants you spoke to.
Yes, all
right.
from the mid-Michigan area. Some pretty funny stories I got. There was the one woman who's from Brooklyn. She told me that, so she was the one who was standing closest to Pat. You know how it's like Pat and then 3 contestants.
Yeah.
So she was right next to him.
All right.
And she said that he'd come back from commercial break and he's like, oh, I just finished an ice cream sandwich. And they all said he's just a really, really down-to-earth guy.
Oh.
Super personable, super understanding, was very good at putting everyone at ease. Yeah, so we'll hear from them on News 10 at 6 about what it was like, you know, being on the Wheel of Fortune with Pat as host now that he's his reign as a Wheel of Fortune co-host is coming to a close.
That is super exciting to share. So you said News 10 at 6.
Yes.
All right, and something else coming up. One of your contestants, or not one of yours, but one of the Wheel of Fortune contestants that you spoke to went behind the wheel in 2002. And do you know who else went behind the wheel in 2002 that is from our station?
No.
All right.
David Andrews?
David Andrews, yes, you got that right. Ding, 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 winner, winner. All right, we're gonna go over here. If you go to From the Vault, you can click on that and check it out. We have a few things behind. But we have, we got behind the scenes for Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. There you can see David Andrews, there he is. He is just having quite the time. But you can find a lot more content, as you can see, you know, Tim Stout's on here, and you got a lot more going on.
Yeah,
So.
and if you haven't seen David Andrews' story behind the scenes of Wheel of Fortune from 2002, that I got such a kick out of it. It was so cool, one, getting to see, you know, our anchor reporting out in the field back in the day, but 2, you learned some pretty cool, fun facts about what, like, the work schedule is like for a game show host.
That'd be interesting.
I never would have thought. They only work a couple days a month. Spoiler alert, but they get into a little bit more detail on how that works in the story. But yeah, it was super fun talking with all the former contestants today. They all, you know, also spoke very highly of Vanna. But she has re-signed her contract for the next year, so she will be joined by Ryan Seacrest for the next year to bring Wheel of Fortune back for another season.
Love that. But yes, this is Pat Sajak's last, and tomorrow makes it the last.
Yes. Last season, 41 seasons.
End of an era.
Isn't that crazy? 41 seasons. I can't even imagine.
That is quite the career.
Yeah.
And he's
cool.
made it the impact, right? He is like the face of Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Him and Vanna, of course. But
yeah. Super cool. That Hangman style show, it gets you. I love watching it. Like we've got all our TVs up all over the station, and whenever sometimes we've got like reruns going, you know, throughout the day. I'm always like trying to think about what it could be. It's so fun. I love game shows. so cool. Yeah.
Well, it's perfect you're on this story today.
Right? Yeah.
Excited
Lucky
to hear
me.
about those.
Super excited. Yeah. It was a very fun story to put together, and I think it's going to be a very fun story for you guys to watch. So be sure to tune in News 10 at 6.
All right, thank you, Erin. News 10 at 6. Make sure to remember that. And one more time, I will pull this up so you know that tomorrow, Friday at 7, that is when Pat Sajak has his last game of Wheel of Fortune. So,
Oh, but I do want to add,
yes,
he's not
add.
leaving the show altogether. He's
Okay, there
going
you
to continue leaving his mark on the Wheel of Fortune show. I believe he's going to be staying on as a consultant over the next 3 years. So if you're a big Pat fan, you know, all hope is not lost. He's still going to be there. But anyways, I'm going to go.
That's a good tidbit to put in because we don't, you know, people might be upset that he's leaving, but he's not leaving for good. He's just not going to be the host. Of course, Ryan Seacrest is joining with Vanna. But thank you, Erin. We have more coming up during our 90 minutes of news. Again, you can go to From the Vault section to find more on David Andrews going behind the scenes of the Wheel of Fortune back in 2002, which is pretty impressive. So all of that happening on News 10 today. One last thing before we head out here, and I guess two more things before we head out. We have Mars Anderson sharing what he has coming up during our 90 minutes of news. We're going to send it to him.
Hi Taylor, Mars Anderson here out in Lansing talking to advocates about a new housing program that looks to help those recovering from drug and alcohol addictions. I'll have more information on what advocates say is a unique program. That'll be during News 10 at 5:30. For now, I am going to toss it back to you at the station.
All
See you
right.
soon.
Thank you, Mars. All right, News 10 at 5:30, sharing more on the drug program, so he'll have that coming up. And one last thing, again, that I want to mention here on the News 10 Plus digital desk before we send it off is where to find us tomorrow for News 10 Today at 11. So again, you're going to go click on live stream. You're going to pull it up, and of course, you're seeing the stream that we currently have. Got to play the ad first. But then you will see the stream that we currently have for the News 10 Plus digital desk right now. You're going to see probably Pat Sajak pop up on there because, well, that is what we were talking about not too long ago. And then, there you go, there's Pat Sajak. So take a look at that. That is where you can find us tomorrow for News 10 Today at 11, just right here on one of those streams. It should just be the first one. So instead of finding us on the regular cable channels for News 10 Today at 11, you'll be able to find us right here for the live stream. And that looks weird that you can see myself, so we're going to bring it back out. But yes, because the French Open is happening today and the next couple of days, we had to move News 10 Today at 11 to our live streams, and that is where you can find us for more information that is happening across Mid-Michigan, nationally, internationally, of course. We're bringing you all of the top stories, so just make sure that you're tuning in then. But again, beautiful day today. It's just windy, as you can see in our Mason Skycam, and like Colton was mentioning. So if you're heading outside, just be aware of the gusty winds. Again, in Lansing, it was about 38 miles per hour. That was one of the more recent updates that Colton got when he shared that a little bit earlier today. So make sure to tune into Studio 10. They are coming up at 3 o'clock in just under half an hour here, followed by First at 4, coming up at 4 o'clock, and then our 90 minutes of news. You can make sure to tune in then. And again, David Andrews has his special You're Not Alone report that you can tune into coming up News 10 at 6. But that is what we have coming up today on News 10. We hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for joining.